Raceway. Terry Nightingale, Zach Caven and Lachlan Mansell joining you. If you've only just joined us on the live stream, we'll welcome you to the 2014 New South Wales Time Attack that has been going for the last 2 days. Of course, we're into our final day, and we have 2 sessions before we go to lunch, and then we get down to the super serious part of the weekend, the afternoon, and we will have a top 10 shootout at the end of the day, and that will be the last opportunity that we will have our top 10 cars trying to battle it out. And at the moment, the car that leads the New South Wales Time Attack is Paul McKinnon in the Pulse Racing Mitsubishi Evo 8 with a time of a 58.5. Paul McKinnon in second place as well, and first in open class with a 58.5 in the 58.5940 actually, which wow, that's only 100ths off the time that he did in the Evo. So those 2 cars are very, very close indeed. Benny Tran in third position in the Honda Integra, which blew a belt off the supercharger, of course, the water pump, so that car will need a bit of work done before we see it back on the track. Nick Spartan Callis in fourth position, the last of our cars underneath the 60-second mark with a 59.8. Then we have Lily Granger, Boston, Kazmiri, Antunes and Chris Sutton rounding out the top 10. But it is our club sprint cars out on the circuit at the moment, and those guys are battling just as fierce in their class as what the other guys are for the outright contentions. Remembering that the cars that you're seeing on the circuit now all are running road tyres. So you might go out to your Mazda 6 or your Mazda 3, the car you have at home, even your SUV, and the same compound tyres are what these guys are running out on the circuit now. So they're considerably amount slower than what the open class and the pro class cars are using. But great to see a lot of these cars, in fact, road registered, and we see those cars driving around the streets of our cities and towns every now and then, which should be pretty cool to drive your car to the track and drive it home again with no problems. And that's in fact what a lot of these guys will do. Now, currently leading the club sprint class is Benny Tran in first position, and that's the BYP Racing Honda S2000 car number 55. He actually makes his way out of pit lane now as we speak, so he fancies another bite at the cherry. His quickest time of the day, well, the weekend rather, 103.4, which is quite respectable for that car. Now in second position in club sprint class is car 260 of Michael King in the Mitsubishi 8 Evo 8 RS. That's the Alkira Homes DTMF Racing Dash Sport Evo 8, and he's out circulating at the moment as well. John Boston in third place in the Tunehouse Track School Toyota 86. In fourth position is Chris Tequi in the Mitsubishi Evolution, and that's car number 289, the Royal Purple IS Motor Racing Hankook Martini Racing Competition Clutch Spool and Up car. And in car number 5, the first of our interstate drivers, John Richardson in the Nissan Skyline R33 GTST. So we do have all the quick cars in the club sprint class out on the circuit at the moment, except for John Boston in the Tunehouse 86. I haven't seen that car come out today, so maybe he's just waiting for later on this afternoon. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll catch up with John later on and try and find out the goss with him and what's going on. Stephen Thompson. Touching on the car of that John Boston's running, the Tunehouse Track School car, the Toyota 86. Now they're only a couple of years old. They've only come onto our car market in the last 48 months. Oh, and Adam Burgess is off. Well, that could be Craig. It's either the father or something. It is Adam. He was had an off at turn 9. That looked quite strange, actually. It looked like more of a low speed. It's Craig in the car, thanks Lachlan, and looked like more of a low speed sort of an off there coming through turn 9. And he's going to come back around the circuit, so possibly a driving mistake rather than a mechanical failure. But as we were saying, the Toyota 86 is relatively new in the world of cars, and I guess replacing the Toyota AE86, which we saw in the late 80s. Very, very popular track car, rally car, circuit racing car. Years ago, we'd see the Toyota AE86s all over our racetracks, but actually getting a little bit rarer now. The prices have gone right up with the AE86s, and very, very difficult to find one underneath $7,000 now. And it just goes to showing how popular those cars are, and still a very, very good platform to build a good tuning car on. So that was the point of Toyota bringing out the FT86. Of course, Subaru brought out a sister version, the BRZ, with the Boxer engine. And at the moment, still a lot of FT86s in development. We know that in New Zealand they actually have a one-make series for Toyota 86s, which is quite popular at the moment and quite cheap to get involved in as well if you're in that part of the globe. But, we know they're a relatively cheap car, and they actually built the car so you could fit 4 spare tyres and your helmet bag in underneath the rear of the car. So certainly made my mate's got one actually, a red one as a road car, and I've driven one of the Targa Racing FT86s on the circuit, and quite a fun little car to drive. I mean, at times they're a little bit underpowered, but not hard to develop and tune and get the power up. As we've seen the car that John Boston's driving this weekend, he's done a time of a 104.5, which is a fantastic effort on road tyres. And unfortunately, Tyler Mecklem, he's out of the weekend. He had an FT86 here as well, and actually caught on fire very, very spectacularly yesterday, coming down the back straight, and very, very smart indeed to get over near the marshal who had the fire extinguisher, and they put that fire out quite quickly. Good thinking from our Wakefield Park officials, which stopped what could have been a lot worse. Now let's keep up with the results here at the moment. Still Benny Tran, who leads the club sprint class, and that's Michael King currently in second position. Now he's actually completed 46 laps here this weekend, so getting plenty of track time, which is great to see. Chris Tequay, haven't seen him go out in this session. John Richardson's out there. He's doing 105.6. Position in the club class. Benny Tran's gotten out of it as well. He may come in a pit lane this lap. It's the next session as well that we're going to be very much looking forward to. It's going to be the open class and the pro class cars out on the circuit again. Can anyone beat a 58.5? And we're going to wait and see whether or not the car of Dean Lilly and Stephen Carr can make it out onto the circuit. He had a problem earlier. He's already completed a lap with a 1:06. Only 8 laps to the circuit. They're from Victoria. They weren't here yesterday. The Power Tune Nissan Skyline R34 GTR. So Johnny Richardson's just come across the line. He's done a 105.0. That's quicker for John Richardson. A personal best. He won't move up in the club sprint class, but he will be now 0.2 of a second of Chris Tequay, who's currently in 4th place with a 104.8. So can John Richardson come back around and knock Tequay off 4th position? And if he can do that, then he'll only be 0.3 of a second behind John Boston as well. So all eyes at the moment are on John Richardson, who I think's actually, he's slowed up, so he won't be completing this lap in any record time. Still got our eyes on Adam Burgess as well. Burgess, he's currently down in the 5th position with a 107.0. So between the first position of Benny Tran all the way down to position number 27. There's 4 seconds separating the guys, so it's very, very close in that class. Although they're not going for outright contentions, they're certainly going for their class contentions, which is just as important to the guys competing. Remembering, only running on road tyres, some of the cars road registered, so it really is a fantastic effort from these Club Sprint cars.
Of course, the supposedly slower of the 3 classes, the Club Sprint, but it's weighted up on a couple of different things. Obviously, it's weighted up on your car, it's weighted up on the driver credentials, and a few other things there as well. So these Club Sprint cars will come around and continue. Then we'll have our pro cars out there. Oh, will we get to the 57s? That's the big question.
Now we're just going to keep an eye on John Richardson here, Zach. He comes out of turn 10. This lap looks much better than the last one, although he gets the tail right out. He got confused with what event he was at. He probably thought he was at Stadium Drift. Across the line, what has Richardson done? A 105.3, so lost a couple of tenths there coming out of the last corner when he got crossed up. We know it's quicker to go straight than to go sideways, as Richardson now runs off the track at turn 2, over driving the car and pushing beyond the limits. And it just goes to show how desperate these guys are to post a good lap time when the track conditions are optimal at the moment. And off the track again there between turn 3 and turn 4. So he'll certainly back out of this one. So he makes his way down the hill now, not long to go in this session. Now I guess the big question is, how much will the conditions change after our 45-minute lunch break, Zach?
Well, news there is it's going to go to a 30-minute lunch break, okay, which is good. 15 minutes extra at the back end of the day for us, and we'll have to have a look at, of course, what the track conditions are like after lunch. As to say, whether the sun stays out. Of course, the temperature of the track's going to go down because there won't be rubber on it or cars on it for half an hour. So there's going to be a few, again, different factors to take into consideration this afternoon. Looking forward to it though, and the shootout, of course, at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be quite exciting indeed when we do see the open cars out again. Benny Tran's just done a personal best as well, 103.1400. So he's gone quicker again in that Honda S2000, and actually going much quicker too. So 103.1. Now that's with road tyres. I would love to see what sort of time that car would do with an R-Spec compound. He would be knocking